Let's take a look at the user interface, some of the screens and views inside of Grade Supervisor. Now, one thing to note is that most all of Carlson's machine control product rover applications, such as Grade Supervisor, which is for Prism Pole, ATV pickup truck, or Grade, which can work for excavators and dozers, motor graders, scrapers. Drill Grade, which works for 3D drilling machines. Landfill Grade works on compactors and has particular application features for that product. All of these are built on the same code base. The advantage to this is that the file structures, the GPS drivers, the way things communicate back and forth are all consistent with an application layer on top. The advantage of this for a particular company is that a site supervisor is also familiar with the interface in the dozer. So you have self-referencing and support on a site. You have compatible file structures, etc. It's very valuable when implementing a 3D machine control and positioning system. So let's take a look at the different views. As we can see, the simulator, the vehicle, the truck is moving along here. I can take my finger or a mouse, click, and I'm able to pan the view. I'm also able to zoom out and zoom in. If I double click, I see the entire site, and this is where my vehicle is located. If I double click again, it will do a zoom around the vehicle for us. So this gives us an idea how this works. Now, I can also zoom in and out in this view. I can see my actual elevation and my design elevation. So we're monitoring a cut and fill right here. So to change views, I have this button turned on, and I can click the view button and move through that. Now, we'll touch on this in another lesson, but all of these buttons, or most all of these buttons, are user configurable so that you can kind of set up what features you want readily available to customize the user interface. So if I press the view button, we can see that my views change. Here I've gone from a grade rod to a light bar, popular with some users. There's a plan view only. I've got my cut fill down in the bottom. Gives me more screen real estate. Cut fill only. If you're using, and this is cut fill only with a light bar, some bulk earth moving applications may prefer just to have a cut and fill viewing on their screen. This screen offers dual light bars for cut and fill, and also if I had a guideline or picked a steering line, this would guide me left or right to maintain that particular line. So as we see, we've got quite a few views. Here's a 3D view. Of course, this is the way this is working with the surface. And back to the original view. Now, let's talk a moment about how these views are set up. If I go to my tool button, press Options, go to Display Options, go to Set Grade Views. All of the views that we just cycled through using the View button are in this table. Each one of these moved in this order, in the way that we just click through the view button. Now, I can also turn views off by unchecking them. I can also take, let's say, a 3D cut view and reorder where that view sets in the cycle when I'm pushing the view button. So this is very powerful. And what we're going to be able to do in the future is be able to add to this list of views. If your company has a view that's not shown that you prefer to work in, then talk to us about it. We're willing to talk about customizing the view and then including it so that you can turn it on or off inside of this interface. So we call this user-defined interface, or UDI, and this allows us to really customize how the product interfaces with the user based on the application, turning views on and off, reordering views, and adding and deleting views. So next, let's talk about the different buttons, customizable buttons, and how some of these work.